Welcome back to Etheria Restart. Today I'm here talking about Kloss, one of the best debuffers inside of Etheria Restart, and to have this conversation, I'm here with Hermes. We're going to be breaking down Kloss, why she's so great, and showing you how we have her built out inside of the game. Before I go any further though, I need to thank Etheria Restart for sponsoring today's video, and if you haven't yet played the game, use this QR code or link in the description. It gets you 10 pulls and lets you jump on in and play the game absolutely for free. Hermes, man, I want to hear from your mouth why Kloss is one of the best debuffers inside of the game.
Dude, so when I going way back when I played in the beta, I did not use Kloss.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I go into battles, and I'd be like, man, I need an animus who's able to do some really good debuffs, damage boosting debuffs, and is also able to give a little bit of control for my team. I
Right.
wonder who I could put in here in the spot. And then the game launched, and I finally got myself a Kloss, and I was like, oh, this is what I need. She is just so incredible. Like she is great all around. Um, the biggest part of her kit, at least for me, I would say, is that A3 ability. On that A3, she has that drop defense. Oh, you even maxed it out. Wow, you're really committed. Oh, okay, I respect it. That's the way it should be.
Nah, I appreciate it, bro. We got to know that the A3 is where it's at. Tell us why.
So the big thing is she brings that drop defense and the decreased speed. She actually got nerfed between the beta and then the real game. She got a little nerf on that ability. Um, but overall, it doesn't change her kit enough, and so she is still incredible. Between that drop defense and decreased speed, she just is such a good debuffer that brings two of the most essential debuffs into basically any battle, whether that's PvE or PvP.
Mm-hmm.
Additionally, she has these debuffs that are her own, like they basically her own debuffs that she puts out called Hacking Progress and Hack In. And for Hacking Progress, she does so she decreases the damage dealt. So basically, she's making your team more survivable for every stack that they have. And
Mm-hmm.
additionally, whenever they get a certain number of those stacks, what it does is then it turns from hacking progress into hacked in, and it increases the damage taken by 20% and decreases the damage dealt by 35%. When you think about that, 35% damage reduction is huge. I mean, you're taking a third of the damage that an animus would do away in a battle. And additionally, your units are doing a fifth more damage. Like 20% is so big. Like those are just such big numbers to be basically shifting. Like that changes the tide of a battle almost instantly. And it's not very hard to stack up the hacking progress enough to get those pack ins.
No, that makes a lot of sense. So how do you feel about the, I mean, I know we're going to go into the A1 and the A2 as well, but I know that you really like that A3. What do you want to talk about regarding the A1 and the A2, and why don't you prefer to throw some upgrades into those?
So I think that her A2 especially is still worth and her A1, but her A2 is still worth putting some skill ups into,
Mm-hmm.
but it doesn't have the same like viability and value in her kit that we get from that A3. So again, lattices are such a hard thing to come by in this game
Yeah.
that it really you need to use them sparingly. And so I think for you, like you've done it a really good way. Getting that A3 max, you're increasing the chance of putting out those essential debuffs. But on this A2, she still has a really good thing where she's able to do that hacking progress again, get her debuff, but then she also reduces has a percentage chance to reduce or steal, I guess, the turn meter from enemies and
Mm-hmm.
then redistributes it to all allies. So, if you have her and then she has three other allies, so four total, and you steal 20% turn meter, each of your allies is going to get an additional 5% turn meter, which is really big and can shift the tide of a battle. And obviously, as you skill that up, you're going to get better chances. You're going to get more stuff all around. It's going to be a lot better. But it's not worth anything in this stage of the game when there's so many new animus. I mean, on your account, like we recently just did a video on you pulling some brand new animus in that that have value and getting skill ups into them as well. And it's like if you put all your skill ups into Kloss, you wouldn't be able to skill up some of these other very essential, impactful skills that you are able to when you are just basically being very selective with certain abilities, as opposed to just blanketly fully maxing out an Animus.
Yeah, and that makes sense. Like over time, we could potentially throw in some lattice into these as well, but who knows? We could get other Animus in time that we decide that we want to invest into them as well. We already know that there's going to be new Animus coming to Etheria Restart on a regular basis, so who knows if it's really going to be worth us going in and giving all of that extra to these other skills as well. Let's talk about her modules a little bit and how you have her built out, and how you like to have her built out.
Speed. So the biggest thing is speed and then accuracy. Um, on your account, I know you've been farming a lot of Inferno Doki Doki. I've been doing the same, trying to get some of those really good modules, some Swift Raid as well. But the big thing with her is that Swift Rush set is so valuable. The more speed you can get on her, the better, because the more that she's able to cycle her abilities, she'll become really, really impactful. On those right side pieces, I think it's really good to have a lot of effect accuracy main stats, either 2 or 3. I see for you, you've got that one piece in the very bottom that's that attack bonus. I'm assuming that's
Hmm.
just because it's got pretty good speed and it completes the set. But you know, effect accuracy and HP, I think, are really good ones for her. Making sure, obviously, she has that damage mitigation ability, so having high HP is really valuable, as it's able to then, help you survive with that mitigated damage from that hacked in ability. And so again, accuracy and speed are really, really big. If you can get her into a full set of the time weave, where she has that
Hmm.
chance to reduce cooldowns, that's going to be super valuable as well, considering all the benefits that it'll have for her, getting out those faster cooldowns, getting more control, and more debuffs out.
No, that makes a lot of sense as well. Thanks for the breakdown. Now we want to look at her shell as well. What type of shells do you like to pair with her? Are we talking? We see turn meter up right here.
So I think Gigabyte is a great option, especially because Inferno Nico Nana was nerfed a couple weeks ago, so it makes it really easy to farm and get better versions of this shell. But I
Hmm.
think additionally, it's also that getting that turn meter push is really valuable. 'Cause remember, she has that turn meter steal. So let's say you have an enemy that just took a turn, pushes Kloss's turn meter ahead of the other enemies. She's able to cut in, steal basically 100% turn meter, and then distribute it between all your allies. She's able to get a ton of turn meter pushing done to impact and benefit your team, and that is really, really valuable. I think obviously, if you're having trouble surviving in PvE, I think that Artisan can be useful in her. I'm not saying it's the best option, but I think it's a valuable shell you can put on because of the shielding that Artisan gives. Just, try to make your team a little more survivable.
And where do you like to see Kloss being used? How much of a general animus is this versus targeted for certain different events?
Very, very general. I would say when you get into higher difficulty of the Inferno dungeons, you
Hmm.
can really have a difficulty whenever you have the weak affinity matchups. But other than really that, he is so useful everywhere that it is a very, very valuable animus to have on your roster, doing all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, and that's a great thing about such a versatile animus is when you have the limited lattice, because you can't upgrade skills on everything, and you really have to choose which animus you're doing the upgrades on. It's nice to be able to do it on one that could do many different things inside of the game versus one that's really targeted to a specific task. So Kloss is a good all-around debuffer that can be used in many different areas of the game. Any last things you want to mention? Maybe your favorite places to use her? I know that she's usable everywhere, but maybe your favorite spots where you think that she's just an all-star?
Honestly, I love her in Doki Doki.
Hmm.
I think that the ability, because especially in Inferno difficulty, that boss does so much damage. Really, really difficult to kind of power your way through it.
Hmm.
And so what you're able to do is get a lot of power pushing through, and that really makes it a very valuable animus to use.
I appreciate you as always coming through, breaking down these animus and these guides the way that you do, that you give all players a good understanding of the game and how to get the most out of each of the animus that they may decide to rank up. Remember guys, this video was sponsored by Etheria Restart, and if you haven't yet tried the game, use my link in the description of this video. Appreciate you guys watching. I appreciate you, Hermes, as well, and we'll see you guys in the next video.